Hi, welcome back to your Christmas survival guide. My name is Sabine Horner, and if you've watched episode 1, then you know that we are doing this series together, 12 videos to help you navigate Christmas while grieving without expecting perfection. Now, today I want to talk about something that sounds very simple, but can be one of the most powerful ways in which you can look after yourself during this holiday. And that's how you start the morning. If you've been waking up already feeling drained, anxious, or dreading the day ahead, then this video is for you. Here is what I hear from so many people I work with and what I experienced myself after Kevin died. You wake up in the morning and the weight of grief is already there. Maybe you reach for your phone to distract yourself, or maybe you're lying there in bed feeling completely overwhelmed by everything you have to do that day. Or maybe you skip breakfast because you're just not feeling hungry, or you grab something quick, a toast or a sugary cereal, just to get through. And by mid-morning, you're feeling exhausted, irritable, craving sugar, or foggy-brained. This isn't just about willpower or grief making you tired. This is your blood sugar talking. During Christmas, this pattern gets worse. You're sleeping less, your routine is disrupted, there's food everywhere and emotional triggers as well. Social pressures pile up, and your body, already stressed by grief, is just running on empty. The way you start your morning sets the tone for the entire day. Not just emotionally, physically too. Your blood sugar, your energy, mood, and your ability to cope, it all starts here. Here is what you need to know. When our blood sugar levels are already destabilized by grief, what and when we eat becomes very important. Skipping breakfast is not a good idea when your body is already thrown off balance. This can make you more anxious or angry or overwhelmed and cause intense cravings later in the day. And eating something that's sugary and low in fiber, like pastry or sugary breakfast cereal, can cause even more blood sugar imbalances by causing your blood sugars to spike really fast and make them come crashing down 2 hours later. And that crash, that's when you get those cravings, mood swings, low energy, or that overwhelming, I just can't cope feeling. But a well-balanced breakfast full of fiber and protein and healthy fats keeps those blood sugar levels stable. It gives you sustained energy. It helps make you feel more grounded. And it literally changes your capacity to cope with grief. And warm foods, why are they better for us than cold foods? Like yogurt with fruit or those overnight oats from the fridge or a cold smoothie? Well, warm foods are generally easier to digest, especially when our digestive system is already compromised, again by grief. So go for a warm, well-balanced breakfast. And in the next bit, I'm going to show you how. What I recommend to everyone who wants a quick and nourishing breakfast is a spiced porridge in the morning. It checks all the boxes. It's warm, it's well balanced, it's easy to digest, it's grounding, and it gives you all the energy that you need to face another day. And you can adapt it to whatever you have on hand. Now, what you need is, of course, oats, or instead you can also use buckwheat flakes or quinoa flakes or millet. Then you need some healthy protein and oil. So I always recommend adding 2 or 3 spoonfuls of flax seeds because they're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are really good for your brain and immune health. And they're also rich in fiber. Then you also add some spices. That's why it's called a spiced porridge, like cinnamon, ground cardamom, fresh ginger that you chop finely, even some turmeric if you like. And you add some dried fruit for additional nutrients like a medjool date or some raisins that you've soaked overnight. And of course, last but not least, let's not forget that we need to add some fluids like a plant-based milk, almond milk or even oat milk without sugar. So always read the ingredients and make sure there's no added sugar in the form of maltodextrin, dextrose, corn syrup or rice syrup. And they are often added to these plant-based milks. And as optional topping, you could prepare a seed mix made from pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower and hemp seeds, for example, and you could put them on the plate, put them in the oven for about 3 to 4 minutes and just roast them gently and put the seed mix on top of your porridge. It's delicious, I can tell you. And of course, if you have a sweet tooth, you can drizzle some maple syrup on top of everything. Don't use honey because honey shouldn't be put into anything that's piping hot. I know what some of you may be thinking. It just takes too much time to do this. Well, it takes about 10 minutes, even less if you prepare and set out the ingredients the night before. And those 10 minutes, they're an investment in the next 4 to 6 hours of your day. They make the difference between feeling shaky and overwhelmed by 11 o'clock or steady enough to cope with whatever the day brings. Let me address some other concerns that I often hear. Like, I just don't feel hungry in the morning. I get it. Grief kills your appetite. But it may also be because you've been eating late the night before and your digestive system is still trying to process that meal. So just have a think and reflect on what time do you usually have your dinner, and is it heavy or is it light? Because if you have a late night dinner, it should be as light as possible. So if you're still not feeling up for breakfast in the morning after addressing your dinner time and what you eat for dinner, then just start small. Have a mug of warm and fresh ginger tea instead of having some breakfast. Take a few sips and then see whether your appetite is slowly kicking in. If it isn't, then just leave it and stick with having a mug of fresh ginger tea in the morning or for lunch if you're still not hungry by lunchtime. So just tune in to your hunger cues and see how your appetite is. But just make sure your dinner is light and that you have it by 7 o'clock in the evening so you can still process that food you're eating before you go to bed. That's really important. And if you are having concerns about low and poor appetite and it's been going on for weeks and you are losing weight drastically, I've got something for you in the new year. A group program, just 4 weeks, to help you reclaim your appetite in a healthy and steady and sustainable way. So check in with me, send me an email if you're interested, and then I can send you more details. But for now, just stick with the warm ginger tea until your appetite returns. and your body will naturally get into a rhythm. But just make sure you have this ginger tea at the times that you would normally have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And just to keep that regularity going. Here's another common concern. I just don't like porridge. Well, that's okay. The principle is what counts. It should be warm, well balanced, easy to digest, and contain some protein and healthy fats. So instead of porridge, you could have some scrambled eggs with some sautéed vegetables, or some avocado on a piece of toasted sourdough bread, or some stewed apples with some millet and raisins and ginger and cinnamon, or even a mug of bone broth with some cooked grains stirred in. Use routine as your anchor. Now here's why this matters so much, especially during the holidays. When everything feels chaotic, when your schedule has been upended, when emotions are unpredictable, and when there's expectations and triggers everywhere, routine becomes your anchor. Your body loves routine. It functions so much better when it knows what to expect. Regular meal times, like a warm breakfast in the morning, gives your body the signal, we are stable, we are okay, we can handle this. And during Christmas, with late night dinners, irregular meal times, and sugar abundance everywhere, this warm breakfast becomes so much more important. Starting your day with this grounding practice is going to make all the difference. And it's not about being rigid. Some mornings you will sleep in. Sometimes you will be traveling or staying with family, and that's okay. But on the mornings that you have control, take it. Give yourself that gift. Now here's what I would like you to try this week, if you're up for it. Pick 3 mornings, just 3, no more, no less. And on these mornings, prepare yourself a warm, well-balanced breakfast using the formula that I shared with you or your own version of it. And by mid-morning, check in with yourself. How's your energy, your mood, and how are your cravings? Then come back to me and tell me in the comments, did the breakfast you had make any difference? I read every comment and I'd love to hear from you. And remember, this isn't about perfection. This is about giving yourself one thing, a warm, nourishing start to support you through everything the day brings. You deserve to feel grounded. You deserve to feel energy, and you deserve to look after yourself, even when, or especially when, everything feels so much harder. So give yourself that gift and see you Saturday for episode 3. Until then, be gentle with yourself.